have done the World Military Games here, and then I did Tomorrowland Unite. So we've been doing events here. Today I'm going to talk about the journey of Ferriswheel, the company, and I think my journey with it as to how I grew as a person and what was it that we did as a group of people to make Ferriswheel a brand that it is today. I've worked in over 74 countries and I've done some of the largest work on the planet, maybe totally not entirely with me, but as part of it. And the learnings are very large. I keep saying I don't agree with the word challenges. Everything is a learning. And I think event industry is shaped up very well because we've got, now it's maturing to a point where you have bifurcations. You have wedding planners, MICE incentive, people who specialize in their spaces, people who are good with corporate business, people who are good with public outings, large scale public events. So everybody's got their niche and they're becoming very, very good with what they do. Not only as an industry, I mean, we're generating a lot of revenue, we're creating employment, we're being able to pay our taxes, and also the skill set is becoming very refined, and it is breeding a lot of other businesses which feed the event industry, whether it be printing, design, production, technical, creatives, artists. So overall it's a very healthy environment. What I would like to say here is that the event industry is not even the tip of the iceberg for a country the size of India. We're doing hardly any revenues in terms of scale and size. We're doing very well, but we could go up much more. Like large ticket outing tenders, for example, the kind I specialize in, are only 500 crores. And those 500 crore tenders, only 4 to 5 agencies make the eligibility criteria for that. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for the government to magnify those tenders and for Indian companies to upgrade and to be capable to be able to deliver that scale and size of work with finesse. Corporate business also, if you see, there's a handful of corporates. I mean, you can literally say that there's about 3,000 business points where the business comes from. The wedding segment is about 15 billion. It's a very big segment. And so all of these are catering, the skills and the professionalism needed for each of these sectors is different, and there are very strong agencies, but you still see that on a linear level on the metros, while in the West you see it on the second and 2-tier and 3-tier cities as well. So in that space, the point of expansion and the point of growth for India is very large, the potential is very large. And all the brands are recognizing that their events have to just not cater to the outings that are happening in the linear cities, but also in the 2-tier, 3-tier cities. The other thing that is going to influence the event scenario in a large way is the way audiences are maturing to entertainment. For example, when we were young, our parents could only take us for a Bollywood film, and that would be our outing and maybe grab a meal. But today you have an option that you don't have to go to a Bollywood film. You can go for a play, a music concert, you can go for a flea market, you can go for a pop-up food festival. These are all signs of what is lying ahead in the times to come. That is pretty much how your TV channels are. Earlier on there was one GNC and all of us had to consume the same content. Now you have the cookery channels, the travel and lifestyle, and you've got all of this. It's a demand and supply. People are consuming that, and that is why content is being created. Similarly, in the entertainment space, the genres that are going to get fine, and the brands are finding their target audience through these connections. The other thing, which is a great thing in a nutshell for the market that is going to happen for the events, is the way everybody consumes information is going to change. It is already changing, but it is going to change further. This is what the market trends say, this is what the studies say, and which is when event industry will have a quantum growth, because by the time newspapers arrive at your doorstep, that news is old by a few hours. Newspapers are not going to be the future. TV channels will not be the future, because you, me, or anybody is not going to commute 2 hours back from office to sit on that one chair to see that one series. That series is going to come to you on your phone. So like you have prescription money for your channels, you will be paying prescription money for channels on your phones. And advertising is already undergoing a change. It is suffering in revenues, it is suffering. So live entertainment content will become a consumption point for content creation as well as brand engagement. which means that all the skills that you see developing within the framework of the event industry are going to need much more skills, manpower, and support from the government. Even though there is a little bit of unite right now, we struggle with hurdles of permissions. We just heard a story here, and we also event industry is recognized as a service industry, but even then the SMEs, because there is no tangible collateral to give when they do not get their CC limits without collaterals which an SME is entitled to. So these are the things that are going to all become more finer. The good trends in the industry are the event industry is uniting now, and there is unions and bodies which address grievances, fights, stand up, try to influence policy decisions, and that is why it will be a great time ahead. In terms of, as I said, it is recognized as a service industry, but when you do have a bank engagement that you do, the bank will say that you don't have a tangible collateral to offer. Now, in terms of a dentist, because he buys machinery, it is considered tangible, and then that CC limit without collaterals does come through. So in this case, the request to the government would be to recognize the non-tangible benefits. Everything is not tangible. Non-tangible benefits of this structure, which is generating revenue, paying taxes, creating jobs, and to be able to support in a larger manner. Earlier on, there was a graph. You had to grow through your career to become someone, to have a voice and an opinion. Now every child has access to Twitter. Every child, every young blood has access to digital platforms. And these guys, I always, whenever we have conversations, the young blood has a lot more conscience and consciousness than we do. We still have a certain set of learnings that we are with. These guys are unchained. They're not controlled by mindsets. And I can see the change in the events that are being put together, curated. There's a lot of eco-friendly thoughts being put together. Like recently I was at a conference in Singapore, and the entire thing, everything on that conference was calculated on a carbon footprint. So people were encouraged to, whether it was email, so everything that was there, the carbon footprint was calculated, and there was and we were given the value of that. So it is possible to put together eco-friendly conferences, eco-friendly events, have recyclable stuff. It was a first for me. I was in Antalya in Turkey last week, and in Turkey there was a shop which was having only glass and recyclable paper spoons and forks. So these are all signs of trends which are picking up, and eventually everything has an organic growth. It's taken us a few years to destroy the planet, it will take a few years to repair it. For a while the disruption was felt because people were sitting on the fence. Finally it's a cycle. Nothing is stand alone. Whether it's the brand spending, or in weddings the private client spending, or the people on ground who have a salary point when they're deciding to go out for entertainment. So the understanding of what this demonetization meant was not really implicated, but I also have great respect and I admire Indian resilience. By another month, the chaiwala and the doodhwala were having Paytm. So the turnaround, now everything's fine. And then this year, when you see the March spendings, you will see a considerable spend. So previously the spends in this quarter were already committed to. And now the new commitments are coming out without fear. Like I'm working with Maruti, Budweiser, Smirnoff. All of these brands are resting with their money with me on some brand or the other for the next 3 years, and they're absolutely comfortable. There was no holding back. I think it's very graceful of you to say that, and I think there's a long journey ahead. I've only built myself a foundation, but I think it's creativity. As an agency, we call ourselves the game changers. I do not want to do the kind of show that has already been going on. But what was happening within, especially in the large ticket outings, was that there was no effort to break the mold. Like I'm going to be doing Femina Miss India this time, and when you see the set, you will realize that it is nothing like Femina Miss India has been in the past. I know I'm bound by certain boundaries, but creative content delivered with technical finesse has been our breaking barrier in terms of thing. The other reason why I feel that brands have moved their loyalty to us is, speaking for the whole team, that there is no rule. You can really push yourself creatively to deliver anything in an unusual manner. Also within the industry, I'm the only creative director who's the owner of the company. So normally agencies and event companies would pick up a job and then they look for choreographers.